In this Power City weekly live stream, we're going to be looking at the current situation in the DeFi and crypto markets and also our latest app in development, which is getting very close to launch. So with no further ado, let me bring up my partner in crime, Mr. Just Ask Jesse in the house.
Hey, y'all. Hope everyone's having a great day, evening, afternoon.
Wherever you are in the world, we hope you're well. Interesting times. Bitcoin is well over 70K. We can see, let me just add this to the stage.
Yeah, almost to its all-time high, which is what, 73,800. So super close to breaking that.
Yeah, 278 at the moment, up 7% in the last 7 days, 3% in the last 24 hours. So a rising tide lifts all ships. We can see a lot of the cryptos up, and also that's spilt over into the Pulse chain ecosystem, as we can see here. Hex, Pulse, PulseX, Inc., everything in the green. So no complaints there, right?
No complaints. And like you said, a rising tide raises all ships. All these cryptos are linked together. So when the ones with the most liquidity back to cash, like Bitcoin, go up, everything gets dragged up with it because everything's, paired in some form or fashion all the way back to it, right? You've got Bitcoin that's paired to Ethereum on the exchanges. Bitcoin goes up in value. That means whatever the ratio is, you're now getting extra dollar value for your trade. They literally pull each other up. And because we have Pulse chain things paired back to Ethereum things or bridged in, it's all tied together. Bitcoin goes up, Pulse chain goes up. Ethereum goes up, Pulse chain goes up, right? Unless you have an excess of dumpers that are overpowering that pull-up effect. But at the moment, that's not the case.
Well, we've seen a lot of dumping over the last year, so hopefully a lot of those dumpers can't hurt the price anymore or for too much longer. What's cool about now is, we talked about this before, but obviously years ago, or even, in the last bull cycle, there wasn't many options, right? You had to hold on to your crypto or sell it, up to you. That was your kind of options. Now, like Liquidity and obviously the forks that we've got created at Power City, Earn and Flex, people can do a multitude of things, but you don't have to sell your crypto. You could lock up your PLSX, your PLS if you're using the Liquid Loans Protocol, or PLSX with the Earn Protocol, PLS with the Liquid Loans Protocol, and Hex with the Flex Protocol, right?
Yeah, exactly. Interesting caveat to this. Shout out the Hexologist for calling out Vitalik for all the dumping he typically does.
I've got it here.
Yeah. So, so historically, Vitalik on occasion with his ETH Foundation will dump tens of millions of dollars worth of ETH. Okay. Like sometimes in shots of like $90 million worth. Okay. Now, Hexologist called him out on that and said, just stop dumping. And it's really funny that the reply was, I haven't sold a single ETH in the past month. Well, maybe not in the past month, but over the past several years, it's been hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars worth. You have a founder that literally just dumped the coin he created, supposedly to pay bills, right? The conversation in this thread goes into alternatives that he could use, which they're hesitant to do some of them, but the conversation came up, why doesn't he just stake it? Okay, or why doesn't he obtain grants and some other things, right? Now that there's an open conversation about his dumping, maybe the dumping subsides a bit. Hundreds of millions of dollars worth of ETH being dumped has a significant impact on the price action, right? There's not that much. There's a lot of liquidity with ETH, but we're talking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars worth over the past several years. So, like, what would the price of ETH be right now if that never happened? Would it be 20K, 50K? Would it be the same value as Bitcoin, 70-some K? Nobody knows because Vitalik is one of the biggest dumpers of Hex, or not Hex, of ETH historically, right? And been called out by our own community for doing that.
Yeah, shout out to Hexo for doing that. I mean, it's great that he responded. He obviously got triggered and he's trying to, say he hasn't done it in the last month. But like you said, how long has Ethereum been around? Since 2016, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that's the good part of 8 years of dumping here and there. But for people holding Hex, PLS, or PLSX, you can, of course, if you get some price appreciation, you do what you want. You're an adult, but you can use one of the 3 protocols in the Pulse Chain ecosystem where you can lock up your collateral in a vault, mint yourself some stable coin, and then there's multiple plays you could do there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So these are some of those alternatives we were talking about. Instead of selling your bags, well, you could just stake your bag, essentially into a vault and mint something else that you can go do something with. And that has something else in these protocols happens to be a stable coin. Okay, so it's not like you're just swapping for a risky asset. You're locking up, your collateral, and you're minting a stable coin. You're welcome to go dump that if you want, right? It's not really going to hurt the price. Stable coin's always going to be a dollar because of the way it functions, the way the redemptions work, and so on and so forth. It's just it's a stable coin, right? So you could use that, and what you just did is you created a loan for yourself. So maybe you saved yourself some tax implications because you didn't dump. You just locked up some collateral, minted a loan, and went about your business, right? That's how. That's one method to prevent yourself from having to sell the thing that you like just to get some value and go do stuff, right? Or like Vitalik to pay bills. Okay, you pay. First off, I'm stuck. That's still stuck in my head. I'm sorry, but he says he pays developers $90 million. That's like
those developers are on golden yachts, right?
No, that's absolutely ridiculous. And to do this year after year after year, or he always makes the cycle tops too. Vitalik and the ETH Foundation literally make the cycle tops, and they dump when everything is at the highest. They're literally just taking all that value that people put in for themselves, and the price goes down significantly when they do this. So, but hundreds of millions of dollars over the years to pay developers? No, I'm sorry, that's a lie. That's absolutely a lie. Maybe they do traveling and they do events and conventions and stuff. So they're just blowing their money on having a good time. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, again, a lot of life is smoke and mirrors, but yeah, there's no way 90 million a year or whatever. And he's always, as you said, it's always at the top, right? So when everyone's putting the value into the thing that he's built for obviously a cheaper, faster Bitcoin, obviously that was what they were starting with, right? And now they're dumping at the top. Going back to obviously not having to dump if you don't want to or to sell. Obviously, there's many strategies using one of these liquidity forks, using Earn, using Flex, using liquid loans. But one, and this is not financial advice, of course, but one that you educated me on a while back was, even if, let's say you were thinking of selling, that the price was at a position that you were happy with, you could mint yourself a loan, and maybe the price carries on, right? Maybe it carries on running, or maybe you do get liquidated. But you've got a chance of it still going on and even withdrawing more out behind it, correct?
Yeah, so you have unlimited upside potential and very, very limited downside risk. If the value starts to go down and you were to get liquidated, well, guess what? You minted all those stable coins. You essentially had a stop loss, right? And the value probably went down under, maybe it dips even more and you can buy back in cheaper or whatever. But you just protected yourself because you minted all those stable coins. Now, if the value continues to go up and your collateral value just rises and rises and rises, you've got some options. You can mint more stable coins. You can continue to just mint more and more and more. Or you just withdraw some of your excess collateral. Okay? And you still have all that value for yourself. The only thing that's ever locked is the value of the stable coins you minted plus 10%. So if you've got 1,000% or 5,000, 10,000% collateral, all that excess value in there, that's yours. You can withdraw all that. You can mint extra stable coins off of that. You can do whatever you want. So that's the beauty of this. One of the beauties of this protocol. It's got like a built-in stop loss effect with unlimited upside potential.
Yep. But over at PowerCity, building and forking these protocols where you can, you get a loan without having to sell your collateral wasn't enough for us. We had to build dApps on top of those too, right? So currently we have the Amplify Yield Compounder dApp for liquid loans. This is live. Let's talk about this quickly and then talk about the next one that's coming down the pipe.
Yeah. So if you, well, here's the thing about these liquidity forks. You find that people typically go in daily or every other day and claim their yield, or go claim their yield and redeposit it into another pool, right? Because they're compounding. And you have to click a bunch of buttons to make that happen. If you went straight to liquid loans, whether you use liquid loans or earn or flex, look, there's a lot of functions in there. There's a button to click to take a loan out. There's a button to click to claim whatever rewards you have. Then you have to take those rewards and you have to go click another button and stake those. There's a number of permissions you got to sign along the way. You could find yourself clicking the button 5, 10, 12 times to do just a couple things. And we said, well, that's very tiresome. What if people could just tell the system ahead of time what they want to happen with all their earned fees or their yield, and the system just does it for them? And that's what the amplifier does. The amplifier allows you to manually do everything if you would like, but you can turn on automations, and you can, even with some strategies, you can build some strategies in here, and you deposit some pulse for gas, and the system runs itself. It will claim your rewards. It'll place them where you told it to put them. It'll stake them in the other pool, or it'll do this, or it'll do that, based on your what the inputs that you told it to do ahead of time. What does that do for you? That means that you save a whole lot of time where you're not clicking buttons. Sure, you might log in and still watch it and see what's happening, but it's all happening for you with this smart contract that you built for yourself. And this is still your keys, your coins. Nobody's doing this on your behalf. It's basically a smart wallet, a smart contract that you've generated that is doing all these functions for you on a daily basis.
Yeah, and like you said, you could use it as a basic front end just to open a vault or stake or use a stability pool, or you can get granular. You can set up one of these strategies, put it on automation. Right now, I'm on the enable autopilot page where you deposit gas to pre-fund your transactions, and then you could toggle that on, and that's going to run automatically for you. And also another feature that I love about this is the compound all button. So like you said, even if you've got a strategy running, you could come in here and maybe you don't want to wait for it to compound, or maybe there's other stuff maybe you've got the stability pool and the staking pool separately doing stuff and you don't want to do multiple clicks. You can come in here and just hit this compound all button here, right? And just do everything in a few clicks.
Yeah, just hit the compound all button. It'll claim your rewards from the various pools and put them where you told them you wanted them. So like, you don't have to wait for the system to run itself. You can hit that button yourself as frequently as you would like, because the system isn't going to do it like, every 10 minutes or even every hour for you. It's going to do it about once a day for you. But if you want more than that, you can just hit that button, compound all, and it still saved you a bunch of clicks from going to the standard front ends, right? Instead of going directly to earn or flex or the liquid loans, you can come here. You told it the things that you like to do. You hit the compound all button every day. That's the only button you have to hit it all.
So this is currently live for the liquid loans dApp, and you could find that at amplifier.powercity.io. If you haven't checked it out yet, we also have the amplifier yield compounder for the earn protocol, right? Coming very soon.
Yep. Earn protocol. So we have it's in the final stages of deployment as we speak. Okay, so there's some final tests that we have to run to make sure that the mainnet deployment is matches the testnet scenarios that we ran, and the code hasn't changed, and that it all lines up with the audit. So we're going through that, making sure it's all good to go. Very, very soon, we're going to release the details of the amplifier yield compounder for Earn Protocol. And you really only have to go to one place, amplifier.powercity.io. And you can toggle between the two. You may be in both protocols. Maybe you like Earn Protocol and you like Liquid Loans. You can toggle between them right there at the one location, amplifier.powercity.io.
So as we can see, you can go obviously to the Liquid Loans one, and then the one for the Earn Protocol is coming soon. So yeah, exciting times. Crypto's pumping. We've got a new PowerCity DApp coming soon. And one more thing I want to share, just in case people may have forgotten or haven't seen this for a while, just before we go, you can see that on screen. We can see all of the PowerCity dApps that are live or coming down the pipe are going to be feeding to the core, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's just how our model works. Some of these protocols, as you're participating in them directly, there are some fees that you earn while you're in them, right? Like Earn or Flex, for example. But all of our protocols, to some degree or another, feed fees to the core. So if you're a staker in the core, you're collecting fees from everything that we're building. So we just mentioned that we have Amplifier for Liquid Loans already. We have Amplifier for Earn that's literally right around the corner, maybe a week. Okay. We still have yet to release Amplifier for Flex, which will be coming. Okay. We have Pixel Park, which is in the works. And then we have something else besides Pixel Park that we're not even discussing with the public yet. But there is something else that's being built as we speak. So that's a lot of dApps. How many is that? That's Portal X, Earn, Flex, Amplifier for one protocol, Amplifier for two others, Pixel Park, and then the other thing. 8 dApps, all feeding fees to the core.
Yep.
And the more the community grows and gets the word out that we have a suite of things, of tools and services for people to use, of course, the more fees should start flowing, right? That's on the community to help out with that, get the word out there of what we built. Some of our things have been out for a number of months now, quite some time. They've all been audited. They're all safe. And, Pulse Chain is now starting to pump. So maybe we'll see some more usage out of this stuff.
Exciting times, exciting times. So thanks, Jesse, for your time as always. We will see you next week at the same time.
Yep. See y'all.
Thanks for watching, guys. And to check out any of our live dApps, you can find the link in the description box below. Thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next one.